When you have a need, and I mean a real to survive need, most of the time people will always find a way to get it. When it is a real deep need, they'll go to the ends of the earth and do whatever it takes to get it. If their will to survive is intact, then they must. So look at the contrast between that to wants and desires. A want is a picture that you form in your mind that can create a lot of disharmony in your life. A want signals that you would prefer this over what you have, and you feel generally displeased or dissatisfied because you don't get it. Kind of like a child that wants some candy, but they don't get it. And they have their 3 square meals at home. They have their survival assured. They don't need the candy. They just want it. They just desire it. It's a pleasure. It's a treat. What I appreciate is the simple and potent action of need and the hunger to do what it takes to meet that need without it starting out as a desire, because it skips a lot of this process. It skips a lot of these steps and goes straight to action. But how many of you have actually figured out what your needs are? Many of us have no idea. We haven't really thought about it, and we kind of act on autopilot, letting our instincts drive us. This forms a lot of our personality, our identity, and ideas that perpetuate the meeting of the needs. The energy is dominant and tells our brain to comply or get out of the way, because our minds, our personalities, all that is actually secondary to our instinct and our drive to survive. But there is power here. Either you're in front of it or you're dragged along by the heels by it. And it can be used to transform your life in a really big way. Let me give you an example. Your ego believes that if you speak loudly in a crowded place, you'll die. Now, let's say you picked that up when you're a child. You spoke really loudly once, or you yelled, you screamed, you did something, and you're scolded, you're grounded, you missed dinner that night. It's all punishment from your parents. This is an example, but now your fundamental survival was threatened as far as your internal subconscious is concerned. And that's no small thing, that's huge. Because it's picked up and decided that in order to live, this is now a fundamental truth. And you need to keep your head down and speak calmly whenever you're out in a public area. But what about if later in life there's a scenario where you must raise your voice in public to survive? Well, you might be screwed then, because everything in you says the opposite. There's a disconnect between your internal needs and the external needs that your mind didn't quite pick up. If you understood the dysfunction of what we believe and what our instincts say are needs, when really they're just old programming. So when you learn to deprogram these internal needs, and that's what shadow work is, likewise, you're able to reprogram internal needs, to turn your wants into needs, to turn what you believed wasn't possible, which was actually a suppressed need, into a reality. And when you truly believe and feel that you need something, like your life depends on it, you'll go to any end to get it. If you deeply and truly felt, for example, that your very survival rested on you making $1 million, well, you've just activated the very depths of your own imagination, which will spring to action a series of attempts and events and programs and inquiries that will make that happen in any way it needs to, especially if there's an internal time frame. In fact, the time frame is really essential, because your mind needs to know how long you've got before your survival time runs out. And if you have these two factors, the vision of the essential need and the time frame, then you become a very dedicated individual, and it will most likely happen for you in some way. I'm not here with a magical do this now to get rich program. I'm here to show you the process. It's up to you how to use this, how to find a way that best suits your life. There are a host of tools and methods and workshops out there that promise to help you manifest your dream life. And some might help, others are scams and only help the creator of the program to get rich. What I know is that you will never really push yourself anywhere nearly as powerful as when your survival is on the line. So ask yourself, what are my needs? Do they need to be redefined? Are you holding old needs in you that no longer serve you? Are you reinforcing old, outdated beliefs that you mistakenly thought was essential to survival? If you're watching this now, it means that you must be a level of functionality in your life, but no one is in a state of optimal. It doesn't matter how much work you've done, you're never in complete optimal. And some people are much further away from that than others. I would say the vast majority of us are actually highly dysfunctional with enough survivability that we're actually able to be here now. We aren't as empowered as we could be. There are needs inside of you that do hold you back and keep you stuck. If you clear many of those, new needs can come up. Ones that are more optimistic, based on new perceptions, new limits which are bigger than before. So you're moving from survival into thriving, a completely different mode. And you'll notice a big difference if you shift. Anyway, these are my thoughts for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll be doing another video and I look forward to bringing that to you then. See you next time.